Hi guys, I'm Miles Price, functional medicine practitioner for Life Hub and Life Clinic, and today what we're going to talk about is infrared sauna therapy for the benefits of yourself. So infrared therapy actually comes from our innate exposure to infrared light on a day-to-day basis, which is sunlight. And what infrared therapy has done is condense just that wavelength of light into a therapeutic intervention. So infrared light therapy has been based upon many clinical studies over many years. And what we find is that these studies have demonstrated, firstly, a strongly anti-inflammatory benefit, which is related to the increase in production of energy from the cells, and that actually has an anti-inflammatory effect. Plus also the way the immune system produces various anti-inflammatory chemicals, which actually benefits muscle recovery, benefits joint pain, and overall systemic anti-inflammatory effect. Beyond that, we see an improvement in immunity. So what we find is that the activation of heat shock proteins actually stimulates the immune cell response. And that's very beneficial for chronic conditions like cancer or other chronic conditions. We find that sleep has also been beneficially improved by infrared sauna, particularly in the area of improved melatonin production, endorphin production in the brain, which increases sleep quality. And then we find the skin quality has been improved by increasing the collagen production in the skin. This is particularly done through the red light part of the spectrum, improves the anti-aging aspect of the skin. And finally, we see the elements of cardiovascular benefit. So here we see the improvement in blood pressure and endothelial function, which improves overall cardiovascular health. So these are a wide range of interesting benefits we see with infrared sauna therapy. And if you have it on a regular basis, we can see these benefits continue right up into old age. So when you do an infrared therapy session, what generally starts is your feeling of warmth. And when you feel warm, as your core body temperature rises, you feel a sense of calm and relaxation. And that extends throughout the session and beyond the end of the session. After about 10-15 minutes of receiving the therapy, you'll start to sweat. As your core body temperature rises, the natural body's reaction is to sweat. And that's a total normal reaction. And that sweating will continue to the end of the session and maybe beyond. And that's totally fine. As long as you're replenishing with water, you'll be fine. After the session, what I find is that most people feel relaxed and calm, but also energized, because you're then stimulating that body to be re-energized through the effects of infrared sauna. So in conventional medicine, what we find is that it's more the educated doctors and practitioners which have been using it in their combination of therapies along with pharmaceutical interventions for alleviating inflammatory conditions or chronic conditions. So I find this particularly the case in European countries, where a lot of doctors there are combining it with their therapies for relieving pain and relieving inflammation to support their patients. And in terms of my personal experience with patients, what I've found that in particular it's helped people with arthritis or chronic pain issues because that's strong anti-inflammatory effect there, but also for patients who have cancer. I find that that's stimulating the immune response on a daily basis by using infrared sauna therapy for 30 minutes can be really good for keeping that immune system strong and building that immunity over there. So yeah, those are the particular cases I found. Okay, so infrared therapy can be done every day. Certainly for the more chronic the conditions, the more you should do it more frequently. So 30 minutes a day is absolutely fine. I find that when you're doing it that frequently, you do need to replenish not only your water, but your electrolytes, because what happens when you do sweating a lot, you're going to lose a lot of the electrolytes through the skin, like sodium, potassium, magnesium. So replenishment of those is important. In terms of the types of people which it's not so much suited for, I would list are children under the age of 12. So because their sweating ability is not as developed as with adults. Secondly, people with advanced chronic cardiovascular issues. So if you have advanced heart disease or very high blood pressure, I would also then seek a doctor's permission. And finally, for people with chronic skin conditions like infections or chronic eczema or psoriasis, again, to just seek that professional opinion first before doing infrared sauna therapy sessions. But generally, for most people, it's a very therapeutic intervention, which is very, very safe.